Welcome. This is IRS Group, and my name is Milen Jacob. Welcome to another OET All-Star session. If you're able to watch me and listen to me, please type in. I'd like to know where you're joining from, if you're preparing for OET. If you have an upcoming test, let me know what date it is. So it's very exciting, and we have a very power-packed session on OET Listening Part A with a lot of tips which will help you to improve your test experience in OET listening. I've got a bad cough, so excuse me if I cough in between. Right. I'm just waiting for your comments. Can you quickly type in where you're joining from and your name and everything about your OET preparation? Excellent. So I hope I'm visible to all of you and you can hear me as well. So let's get started. Here we go. Now, today's session, as I've told you, is about OET listening part A. I'll discuss some important do's and don'ts because there's a lot of confusion. Hello, Oneidiko. Hello, Bingle. Good to see you. Lovely colleague. Smita, hello. Hamasif, hi from Pakistan. Irwin from Philippines. Xenia from Riyadh. Hello, everybody. Nice to see all of you, and hope you have a great learning experience today as we go live with a lot of listening. Part A listening is an important part of the entire listening subtest. So we'll have a lot of practice snippets, and as we go, I'll be discussing very important strategies which will help you in getting started, getting a high score in this part of the listening subtest. I'm sorry. So, as everyone is joining, I'll just have a quick hello, Chinnu, lovely trainer. Hello, Jeet, Agrim, Sansa, Asha Sijo, hello from Kerala, Ratna Kumari from Andhra Pradesh, uh, right, Shanal Sharma from Fiji, Nadisha from Sri Lanka, sending all the love to Anjula as well from Sri Lanka. Hearts are with you through these difficult times that you go through, and great learning. I'm happy to be able to help all of you from across the globe working hard in the healthcare industry and aspiring to move to the countries of your desire, particularly the English speaking countries like the UK or Australia for that matter. Ahmed from Libya, Asha from the UK. Hello, everybody. Good to see all of you. Manuel from Italy, Dilruba from Turkey, Hadija from Namibia, Veria. Hi, everyone. Uh, Yojna. Hi, Nadia. Hello, Nadia. So good to see all of you. And as we get started, I have a very quick set of questions for you just to get you started with this experience. So the first question is you have to answer whether these statements are true or false. Listening part A carries more marks. Listening part A carries more marks. Is that true? Type in your reply. Just testing your awareness of this part of the test, but also I want to share a few important aspects through these question answer sessions. Excellent. Just waiting for your right. So everyone's agreeing that listening part A carries more marks. So 24 out of 42 marks contributed from listening part A, which is pretty huge. So I did a quick math and I think it's 57%. Pardon me if I'm wrong, but it's a very approximate calculation. But again, if you look at the OET official instructions, it's pretty clear that this part is a strong contributor. Here's our next question. The testing focus of listening part A is listening for gist. Sorry. I'm just waiting for your response. The testing focus of listening part A is listening for gist. So you're listening for gist. Gist means the overall idea, the overall summary of an extract. Yep. Very good. No, that's true. You're not listening for gist. So suppose you are aware of what skill is being tested. Here's the next question on the screen for you. The testing focus of listening part A is listening for specific details. I'm getting a lot of responses, slightly delayed, but some of the falls from the previous do come at this point of time. Yes, but yes, that's right. So for those who say it's true, absolutely. So listening part A is the part where primarily you're focusing for specific information, specific details. You need those specific words or phrases which will become the answer. Excellent. Here's our next question. Minor spelling mistakes are accepted in listening part A. Minor spelling mistakes are accepted in listening part A. So if you make a minor spelling mistake, will you get the marks for that? That's the question. I do agree with most of you. Minor spelling mistakes are accepted, but a bit later in this program, I'll be explaining more about what those minor mistakes are because there's a lot of confusion, and OET strongly feels that that is being very loosely interpreted to the extent that perhaps whatever mistakes are made, you will still get the answer, which is not the case. So although we say minor spelling mistakes are accepted in listening part A, there's a clear definition of what those minor mistakes are. So there are a lot of examples about what those minor mistakes are coming up a bit later. So keep watching, and those are very important uh, tips which will help you not to lose marks and get those additional marks. Right. Now, if you really enjoy this session, make sure you share it and like it so that your colleagues or friends who are preparing for OET will also benefit. Thank you very much. So here's the next question, the final in this mini quiz. Uh, Accuracy is not important while recording the answers. Hadija, yes, absolutely right. So I'll come to that a bit later. So, should your answers be accurate, or is that all right? Now, it could closely overlap with the minor spelling mistakes, and it's indeed connected. But accuracy is not important while recording the answers. What do you think about it? Um, that's right. That's that's wrong. It's false. Accuracy is important while recording the answers. Right. So now, as promised at the beginning, I'll be discussing a lot of do's and don'ts while recording the answers. So here are 5 do's and don'ts while recording the answers. Number 1, use the microphone. 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 Use the microph What is anticipate? So anticipation is something between prediction, perhaps you can call it a calculated guess. So let's see how this will help you. Here we go. So I'll give you an example for how we can do this. So here's a gap for you. I hope it's visible. Describes the pain as dash. So when you find something of this sort, or all the gaps for that matter, try to anticipate. And this is something you can do yourselves during the 30 seconds you have at the beginning. So can you try first to identify the word type or type of information, which also means what's the part of speech? What sort of word might come there? You can try to do that. Can you type in if it's going to be a noun, a verb, an adverb, an adjective? What sort of word might come there? I see some of you have already started anticipating the exact word, which is fantastic. Uh, right. So I'm not sure if I could read all your comments, just experiencing some sort of technical issues at the moment, but to help you and to hasten this a little bit, I'll help you with the first one. It's an adjective. Describes the pain as dash. So what would come there would be an adjective. Yes, some of you have told that, right? And then what we need to do is to um, now that you know it's an adjective, now I've got already a lot of adjectives on pain. So can you think of more? Yes, I've seen some of the adjectives you have typed: dull, stabbing, excruciating, sharp. Okay, all those things. Excellent. Um, all right. Okay, so, all right. Here we go. So, how much of anticipation do you do when you try to pre-read the text before the audio starts? If this is something that you don't try, this is going to be absolutely helpful if you practice the skill of anticipating. So, I have some more for you to anticipate and prepare. First, tell me what sort of word is going to come there. Is that a noun, a verb, an adverb, an adjective? GP suspected possible Crohn's disease. Another GP thought it could be dash. So try to think of the part of speech first, and then we'll try to anticipate the actual word, kind of predict. Yes. Yeah. Very good. So, yes, some of you did get it right. Most of you got it right. It's a noun, and we know it's a condition as well. Yes, some of you already told me that. So now, can you think of try to anticipate what condition could be there? And we have a clue. I'll explain that a bit later as well. But anyway, we have a clue about what sort of condition it's going to be. We know it's going to be gastrointestinal because we have Crohn's disease slightly above. Yes, Jasmine says it could be ulcerative colitis. Excellent. Think of all the other possible conditions as well. And we are able to, yes, Dilruba says it could be IBS. Yes, gastritis. Brilliant. Um, excellent. I've got a few related conditions on the screen for you, and many of you did try to anticipate those. Sorry. In fact, some of you have typed in more conditions than I anticipated earlier. Brilliant. Here we go. Now, can you tell me what word comes there? Dash confirmed diagnosis. So what could be, what part of speech? What type of word? So we know something confirmed the diagnosis. So what do we do in order to reach a diagnosis? Brilliant job in Abraham. Ultrasound, yes. Tests, yes. Yes, Dilruba, it's test, it's noun. Very good. I'm sorry, Shafkat, it's a noun. Yes, Anjula says it's endoscopy. Asha says it's a CT scan. Brilliant. So, can you anticipate more tests? Here are some for you on the screen. Yeah. Blood tests, X-ray. Sorry. Perfect. Good to see how much of anticipation you're able to do. And I'm absolutely sure if you translate this ability, this skill, this learning into your test, you're going to score far higher. So let's move on to another tip, which is to use the headings. Now you know the question rubric comes in the form of notes, so it could look like a diagnostic notes, and there are headings and subheadings. So using the headings will be of great help. So here's an activity for you again. Can you type the various headings that or subheadings that could come in the notes? Think of the various headings. For example, examination. You know, you have a lot of headings, and if you have already done some listening part A practice, you are aware of the different, a range of headings that you can expect in your question paper. So type in a number of headings that you can think of. It's all right. I would like to have as many headings as possible. Perhaps there would be new ones as always. Yes, background of condition. Yes, medical history. Christina. Yes, that's great. Um, Concerns, patient history, family history. That's Kath. Cell says medical history. Yes, Asha says medical history. Past history. That's Nisa. Uh, right. Ginu says family history. Treatment. Bibin says treatment, family history, medical history. Bipika says patient's background, medication, past medical history. Jeet says management. Jobin says signs and symptoms, medication, investigation. Blanche says social history. Asha says recommendation. Alfreda, medications, diagnosis, management, past treatment, present condition, social history. Allergies, that was Niza. Sorry. I'm really sorry, I'm not able to follow all your names. It's just Nafna, yes, Nas, Hamma, yes, Midumol, Anjula, Kath again, Prasita, Goldresi, Dr. Nadia, Midumol, yes, Nas, yes, current condition. Thank you very much. So I'm absolutely sure that you have come up with more headings than I have put on the screen. So congratulations, all of you, for that. Absolutely good going. So when you see a heading, again your brain will be able to think of some of the areas which will be covered. For example, if it's a physical examination, you can imagine let's say the skin integrity, for instance. Certain things can be expected, right? So I'm going on to the next thing which you should do, and this is to use the untested information. Now, what do you mean by untested information? Now, yes, the untested information act as a placeholder. They act as placeholders. So, can you identify what is an untested information? If you look carefully, now this is something we have seen a while ago as well. The first bullet point does not have a gap. GP suspected possible Crohn's disease. There's no gap there, but it's given there as an untested information. Now, when you listen to the audio extract and you hear words like the GP suspected, so it could be a synonym used, thought that, or identified, or the GP's impression was, um, you know, because it's a possible condition. Yeah, Crohn's disease, and the condition Crohn's disease will definitely be mentioned in this audio extract. So when you listen to the GP, a suspected condition, which is a query, and Crohn's disease, you know that very imminently you will come across the next gap, which is another GP thought it could be. So what you listen to next might be something like, but another doctor thought that it was something else, and according to this doctor, it was perhaps IBS, um, right? So the untested information, which you find randomly, a couple of them strewn all over the Part A notes, is something that acts as a placeholder so that you don't lose track of where we are in this conversation. Uh, and quite often it's one challenge that candidates face, that sometimes you lose track, and then that could cause what's called a ripple effect, or a cycle stand effect, which means you lost track of the extract when you're listening to question number 3, and then you are not able to follow the fourth one, so it causes havoc. So if you could really think of following these untested information wherever it's available, along with the headings, you will probably not lose track. Those specific words in both the headings and the untested information will register in your brain, and you know that where you are. So that's a great thing which you can really apply. uh, I'd really like to know if you have ever tried this, if you've been aware of this. Now, something very closely related is how you use the notes as well. Just like the untested information, you have notes. So, keeping track of the notes, the rest of the notes, particularly the words, the content words. Now, content words are the main words, so they will act as keywords. So you have words like the nouns and main verbs, that precede the gap. Just the words come before the gap or after the gap. So now you have a lot of guides. You have the headings, you have untested information, and now the notes itself, particularly what's on the notes. So good going. And finally, in the do's, I'm coming to don'ts in a moment. Pay attention to grammar. Grammar could be of great help. So you have grammatical features. For instance, doctor suggested something, right? So it could be an exercise, a medication, right? Was asked to, you know, do. So, it could be a verb, right? So grammatical cues will help you to identify. And make sure you don't make grammar mistakes, particularly while you are transcribing what you have just listened. You have to apply the same word in its original grammatic form, not to change the form. And typically, you will not have to. So I'm happy to have these sessions from IRS Group. Now, we are a premium preparation provider. We have been Asia's first OET All-Stars, giving you these sessions for the past close to 3 years now. And it has been an unbroken chain of lessons to help all of you. You can go to some of our previous lessons on OET's official YouTube as well as Facebook. Now, if you're interested in preparing for your OET with IRS Group, please let us know. We'll give you a free demo session where someone in my team or myself would give a free demo with you. You'll have a quick placement test to see what's your language level, and you'll be placed in an appropriate course of the suitable length. So please reach out. I've got our telephone numbers and our website ID, which is irsgroup.in. So you can book online as well. All right, so now we are going to some of the don'ts. We are looking at what you should do till now. Now we are going to look at some things you should not do. Now, these are very important. Now I'm going to slightly contradict what I told you at the beginning, because at the beginning when we had the quiz, I did tell you that minor spelling mistakes are accepted. But now I'm asking you not to make spelling mistakes. This could be interesting because, as I told you at the beginning, spelling mistakes are, although accepted, there is a limit to what is tolerable. So let's see. Oh, all right. Yeah, here. I've just put it again. Minor spelling mistakes are accepted. So that's fine. But here's the catch. The meaning must be clear. So if you make a spelling mistake and the meaning is compromised, you could lose marks. All right. So let's look at some instances when mistakes, including spelling mistakes, compromise the meaning, and then you tend to lose marks. But you could rest on a wrong notion that any amount of spelling mistake is accepted. That's not the case. Let's look at some spelling mistakes. Yeah, we were with Crohn's disease a while ago as well. So I thought we'll start off with Crohn's disease. Can you tell me which of the four spellings is the correct one? A to D, A, B, C, D. Yeah. How about the other variations? Are they accepted? Do you think the other spellings will be accepted or not? Type in your response. I was just reading through your response. Yep. A, B, even C is fine. D, I'm afraid it could cause a problem because it becomes crown. So A, B, C should be fine. D, perhaps not, because crown is something else. And, for instance, in dentistry, you have a crown. So it changes the meaning. Yes, yes, absolutely. Very good. Yes, many of you did get it right. Let's try another one. Alzheimer's, again, pretty confusing spelling for a lot of candidates. Yeah, yeah, dear, yes, I get it. But it could be confusing because it's another word altogether as well. Now, although these are slight variations, the correct spelling is indeed B, but all these could get you marks because they sound the same and it's very clear to the assessor that you have tried to get it right, and this is exactly what you meant. So all these spellings should be fine. I'm not asking you to deliberately make a mistake. However, I'm just showing what a minor mistake could be and when it could become a major mistake. About dementia. Yes, most of you have got it correct. It's A. However, all these variations shouldn't affect you getting marks. It should still help you to get the marks because they sound the same and it's very clear that uh, it was just a minor spelling mistake. So here's a common medication, which is acetaminophen. Can you spot the correct spelling? And also tell me if the other spellings are acceptable or not. Yes, D is the correct spelling, but the other spellings are still, minor mistakes, and it should be absolutely clear to the assessor that this is exactly the drug you meant is acetaminophen, in spite of the spelling variation. So they're all acceptable. And finally, we have, yeah, Flavix, clopidogrel. How do you spell clopidogrel? Hi to Joe. Hi Anna. Hi Kiss. Isra. Chinchu. Nisha. Mary. Maria. Adam. Freshta. Nafna. Valar. Kane. Yes. So the correct spelling of clopidogrel is C. However, all these variations are acceptable. Excellent. So let's look at the major thing that you should not do. And I would like to emphasize this a lot. Please don't change the meaning. Now, that's when uh, mistakes, including spelling mistakes, could be problematic. So let's look at some instances. Think of some instances when minor spelling mistakes or major spelling mistakes change the meaning. Can you think of some examples, if you can? Jobin, that's a fantastic example. I'm coming to it. Yes, Asha, plain and plain. Yes. Good to see that you're coming up with a number of examples. So, yeah, singular plural nouns. Now, that's something which uh, you haven't mentioned, but it's still very, very important. We'll look at an example. Na says breathe and breath. Yes, jeet, right, all right. Absolutely. So they all are different words, homophones actually. They sound alike, but they have different spellings. So we look at both these instances with an example each. All right, here we go. Isola, yes. Zell, yes. Patience, patience. Here, right. Now, I'm looking at the singular plural variation. Can you tell me if they have the same meaning when you use arm as a single arm, left arm or right arm, versus arms to denote perhaps both your arms? Chinchu, yes. Advice and advice, yes. Smita, yes. Diary and diary. Yes, yes, absolutely. So can you tell me if writing arm for arms or arms for arm will get you the scores? Xenia, that's right. Grace, I'm afraid, no. If you wrote the plural form, when the audio extract mentions the singular or vice versa, you will lose scores. Yes. Now, the reason is that the meaning absolutely changes, and the clinical, in a clinical context, it's going to cause more confusion. You should imagine that the notes you take down will be handed over to another healthcare professional who will continue the care of the patient. And in such an instance, for instance, pain in an arm is something entirely different. When you look at a diagnostic pathway, or you are looking at a differential diagnosis, pain in, for example, left arm could indicate a cardiac condition, whereas pain in both arms could have been because of an exertion or lifting a heavy object, or for that matter, something entirely different. So it's giving hugely different meanings, and you will lose marks, although you might think it's just an additional s. I've changed the form to plural, or plural was mentioned in the extract, but I wrote the singular form. You will lose marks. So you should be very careful not to make this mistake of uh, changing the singular to plural or plural to singular. Focus exactly on what you listen in the audio extract. That's absolutely important for you not to lose marks. It's not about whether A or B is correct. It depends on what you listen in the extract. Earlier, someone did have this example for me. I mentioned. So, wanted to reduce waste and waste. Are they the same? It's easier for you, I guess, now. Yeah. Again, you will have to infer from the context which of the waste was mentioned, and you should get it right. Now, here is the next thing you should not do. I don't want you to paraphrase. You will have to write exactly what you hear, and any amount of paraphrase again will not be accepted. So, the first box is something from the audio extract. Then I felt dizzy. I also had a strong feeling of fatigue. Can you imagine what word should come in the gap? Just type in the response you think should, yes. I'm happy all of you are writing fatigue, because if you write something else that means fatigue, like tiredness, you will lose marks. So synonyms are, they don't have a place in listening part, although you will listen heavily to paraphrases in the rest of the notes. Not the gaps, but the other notes will be heavily paraphrased. And we did um, discuss some examples earlier. So yes, this will not get you marks. So finally, I'd like to test some of it, the skills with a short snippet. I'll play an audio and I'll just need to test the audio if it's audible for you. Please type in if you can listen to the audio.
Helpful for me just to sort of find out a bit more about home life and work life and ask a few questions in that area. Would that be okay?
Please type in if you are able to listen to that audio extract. I hope yes. So I'm going forward with the mini test. Thanks, Jeet. Lijas, yes. So I'll give you a few seconds to read the notes. Try to anticipate, look at the heading, the notes, the untested information. We are testing everything that we learned today and discussed as well. So here's your time to try to anticipate. Bring on your anticipation skills. It's not being played now. Okay, I'll try not to have the overlap. I hope you had enough time to read, and now I'm going to play the audio. Try to note it and let me know if it's audible as well.
It would be helpful for me just to sort of find out a bit more about home life and work life and ask a few questions in that area. Would that be okay?
Yeah, it's fine. Sorry. Yeah.
So do you work?
I work in a job centre. Gets a bit stressful at times. We've got to see so many people. Of course, they're stressed.
I've got some patients who work in the same environment. It's very high pressure, isn't it?
Yeah. Some mornings I just can't be bothered to get out of bed, and it's that's worrying me because I phone in sick, and you know it's not good to have a sick record, is it? It's not like me.
And who else is at home with you?
I've got 2 kids.
How old are
One
they?
girl, one boy. Or Richard is the youngest, he's 7. And Marie, she's 9.
Do they get to see their father much?
No, he can't be bothered now. He's got a new family. He doesn't see them at all. They're very good kids.
That must be quite hard on both you and them.
I try and be a good mum, but it is very difficult.
Do you get any help or support from anyone else?
Oh, my mum, she's wonderful, but she has arthritis, and so she does what she can.
Does she live locally?
Yeah, she's just round the corner, and she picks the kids up from school, and yeah, she's an angel. She helps me lots.
What about you? What about your hobbies and things you enjoy doing?
I used to enjoy going to the cinema with my friends. Even line dancing, we used to go down to the village hall line dancing. But that's been a while ago.
I'm just going through the answers you have typed in. Pretty interesting answers coming in. So here we go. Now you have the answers on the screen. You can cross-check with the answers you have written, you have typed. But I must say many of you did get a lot of the correct answers, which is amazing. Let me know if you did apply some of the things that we discussed earlier in this session while you are doing this snippet. That should be a great indicator if how much of learning happened and how much of it you will be able to take to the test. Brilliant. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer your questions. Yeah, it's okay if you missed the arthritis, Jyoti. Keep preparing. If you have any questions on your OET preparation, please let me know now. I'd be happy. Yeah, Shaima, very good. Yes, Jeet, go ahead. Xenia, it's not a major problem, and both are accepted. If you want to write everything in caps, that's fine as well. You don't have to worry about the capitalization rules much in this part of the test, although if you could, that should be really great. Whether it's a new is already in the question, so you don't have to repeat new. All right, so about the pronunciation, you can listen to a lot of native English speech to improve your pronunciation. Please let me know how you enjoyed this session. Wawa, no, breathlessness and breathless are different. Breathlessness is the state, whereas someone is breathless now, so they are going through breathlessness. Joy, no, I wouldn't suggest you to write it in advance, but you can make a note somewhere. Yes, Jyoti, that's what we did discuss. Spelling mistakes, minor ones will be accepted, like the 4 clopidogrels so they will be accepted. They will not be wrong, but if it changes the meaning, it will be a problem. You can erase cat, or you can cross it out and write there, either way. You're welcome, Jeet Patel. Blanche, yes, there are a few of my previous sessions and the other OET All-Stars presenters as well who have done a lot of sessions on writing. You can go through them in the OET All-Stars playlist in OET official YouTube channel. All right, so thank you everyone, and if you have any questions, yeah, that's something that I did miss a bit earlier, focus on the patient. So if you have any questions on preparation with IRS Group, feel free to contact us. The telephone numbers are Indian, but you can also reach out on WhatsApp or on our website. You have a lot of contact options, including chat. You can book a training program as well. And thank you very much. I hope you all enjoyed this session as much as I did enjoy giving this session to you. And we at IRS Group, we are happy to provide these sessions to all OET candidates across the globe. And thank you very much for having me do these sessions for you. And I'll see you soon as part of the other OET All-Stars events which are upcoming. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. And our huge love and appreciation for the great work you do in these difficult times. Thank you very much, everyone.